And what I realized, though, is that there's a difference between a millionaire and a billionaire thinking. A millionaire wants to be the CEO of their own company. A billionaire wants to employ CEOs. You know, the millionaire wants to build a singular business. The billionaire wants to take that methodology or that idea and run it out multiple times type thing. Mm-hmm. And so where I'm very good is I build great CEOs. I build great people who run my companies, or I build great partners in my businesses. A lot of businesses, I'll buy a share of the company and a major share. In fact, I'm literally negotiating right now to buy a share of a cattle company. And, I sit back and I look at it. I'm investing in the beginning of my career. I bought broken companies and fixed them. So now what I do is I buy great companies that are in a singular location, or they're great, but they're still small, and I blow them up. It's like, there was down in Texas, I bought a property management company, and we were blowing that up. We built it right across. It was just in Houston, one location. Blew it up across Texas. We're about to go national, and a Silicon Valley firm came along and offered us Silicon Valley money for it. So we were like, yes, please.
Right. Wonderful.
We're not so married to this concept that we need to continue when you're offering us those multiples. We'll say yes. And actually, funnily enough, yesterday on my Facebook feed, up popped an ad for that company that bought my company. It was like, maybe I should be your customer now.
That's right.
Would be a good thing. But ultimately, it comes down to two main things, and that is management and leadership. Management is a system and leadership is an art form. People say, you don't want to be a manager today, and they're the people that have to read the books on execution because they've messed up the execution of their business. Management is a systematic methodology of working with people to get high performance out of them, because management is about competency and productivity. If I can get high level of competency and a high level of productivity, then my management style is good. In the beginning, you micromanage people. Why? Because if you don't micromanage them, they're like children. They'll die if you don't micromanage them, sort of thing. You have to, until you build that human into a competent, productive human, and then you can move on to leadership. And leadership, again, is about two things, in my opinion, and that is focus and passion. If I've got passionate, focused people, I'm being a strong leader. If my people are not passionate, then my leadership skills are low. If people are not focused, my leadership skills are low. So you want to have great management and great leadership. And so I've taught all my people to be great managers by running our management system with them. And because they're in the system, they learn to be managers. By being managed, you learn to be a manager. So when you get promoted, if you look at it today, I remember back, my dad, I was maybe 8. I remember him coming to us. Mom and dad came to us all, me and my 2 brothers, and said, listen, Dad's going away for 30 days. He's going away for management training. Like, he got promoted to a manager and they sent him away for 30 days management training. How many days do we send people away from management training today? Like, hey, here's the keys, here's the alarm code, you're now the manager.
Right. Thank God.
So we believe in building our people, and that the way you run 11 companies is you build your people so that they are great CEOs of the company.
I believe in that wholeheartedly, and I always have, based on the companies I've worked with and for. How do we change that dynamic right now? People are using either post-COVID or COVID or the economy or the president. They've got a list of reasons why they can't invest in management or skilled employees or holding people to a level of accountability. Man, I was at a restaurant the other day. It looked like the employees were living in the lobby of the restaurant. I took pictures. I got to call the owner going, what's going on here? How do we change those dynamics right now so that we can become better or get out of our way right now?
There's 2 answers to that in my head. One, the business owner in me says, I don't want to change it in the other restaurants. My restaurants make a lot of money because we do that stuff. So let the other ones keep failing. But the educator in me looks at it and goes, look, the interesting thing about it is that these business people have got to learn to be business people. The hairdresser is great at cutting hair, but has never learned to run a business. The restaurant, they're a great chef, but they've never learned to run a business type thing. And so we've got to teach people to be employers, not employees. A lot of business owners still think like employees. And that's why my foundation worked with young people to teach them to come out of school and give jobs, not get a job. Come out of school and be a business owner. You don't need to leave school and get a job. You can leave school and go and be a business owner. So, but ultimately, you mentioned a thing there. And so we teach a simple thing at Action Coach. It's above and below. And below the point is three things: blame, excuse, denial. If you're in blame, if you're in excuse, if you're in denial, you cannot be successful. You just can't. It just never will happen. If you've got, oh, it's the supplier's fault, you blame the suppliers. Oh, it's operations fault, you blame another member of your company. You can't be successful. If you got excuses, well, we would have had it, but that's just and the British have a fancy word for excuse. They call it reasons. And ultimately denial. The person that thinks they're doing well, but they're basically living in denial. They're not doing good at all. And I bet that restaurant owner that you're talking about is totally in denial. He won't even notice, or she won't even notice that people are doing that. Oh, that's okay. That's fine. It's team building. No, it's not. It's stupid. That's what it is. It's stupid.
I guarantee you.
Above the point.
That restaurant owner's not even in the restaurant. You know what I mean?
No. And they don't have a great CEO either.
Yeah.
So they've not taught someone to run the business. They've abdicated, not delegated. There's a big difference between that. Delegation needs training, systems, and measurement if you want to do proper delegation. But above that point, we call three things: ownership, accountability, responsibility. And maybe that's a chat for your other podcast. It's like, how do we get people to get to responsibility? Well, responsibility is about removing bad habits and removing bad behaviors. So you need measurement. You need people to know what their job is. You need all of those things for a performance culture. Accountability is when people want to step up themselves. You can't give people accountability. They have to take accountability. So that comes through training the human, getting them to want to be better, getting them to want to lead. Stepping from management to leadership is a want to, not a thing. You can train the skills, but they've got to want it. And then ownership is really in their heart. When you get that business into their heart and soul, into their, not just their brain, but into who they are as a person. It's I wrote in my latest book, Pulling Profits Out of the Hat, that one, about the 5 core disciplines. And one of them is that of mission. If the business doesn't have a mission for the people to believe in and want to be a part of, then they're just there for the money. And if they're just there for the money, then your customers notice that. Therefore, the customers don't have a passion for your business either. See, if your staff love working for you, then your customers can love buying from you. And if the word love doesn't resonate with your business, then your business will be out of business in a pretty quick space of time. In today's world, the millennial generation is more about why should I buy from you, not about the product. We've had to answer the questions of what's your social footprint? What do you give back? How do you take care of the community? If we don't answer those questions today, our business goes out of business in a period of time.
I love this discussion right now because it's so relevant for the society that we all live in worldwide. And restaurants just an easy target to talk about because we all go out to eat. I'm on the school board here locally, and it's a great little country school, or at least it should be. And the complaint is, well, we can't get people here, we can't do this, can't, a whole bunch of can'ts, right? And I'm spending every waking moment talking about the we cans and let's make it great. And I think people need to really pay attention and dig deep to make a difference right now and overcome this narrative that's being told everywhere, because we're better than that as human beings.
Yeah, unfortunately, the human brain is wired to negative.
Yeah.
If you're driving down the highway and there's an amazing sunset, you're not going to pull over and take a look. But if there's a car crash on the other side of the road, you're going to slow down and rubberneck the whole way. It's like people are naturally inclined to look for the negative. And that's the fight or flight part of the human brain. Is that thing in the bush going to kill me? Am I going to die from that? Is that fight or flight thing? But if we start to rise above that, I remember when I first met Jim Rohn, I had negative goals, meaning that 13-year-old kid never wanted to be embarrassed wearing Kmart corduroy jeans ever again. It was like I wanted to be an away goal. I didn't want to, it's like the don't want to be broke, don't want to be overweight, don't want to be working 80 hours a week. It's the don't wants. Now, everyone knows that not everyone knows, if everyone knew, they wouldn't do it. But if you focus on what you don't want, you end up getting that.
Yeah.
I don't want to work 80 hours a week. I don't want to work 80 hours a week. I don't want to work 80. Maybe I just got to work 80 hours a week. You end up settling for it. It's the frog in the boiling water, or the cold water that turns to boiling water sort of thing. Jim Rohn taught me how to have positive goals. In other words, instead of don't want to work 80 hours a week, I want to be working 2 days a week, 6 hours a day. That's how I want to be working. So set that goal. I don't want to be overweight. No. I want to be able to run 5 miles a day, 4 days a week sort of thing. That type of positive towards goal. And then finally, I learned in my own brain that the ultimate level of goal is a legacy goal. What's the legacy I'm going to leave? And that's where I set ActionCOACH up to be all about our mission, or our vision as a company, is world abundance through business re-education. We create more jobs per year than most governments because of the businesses we coach. We have 280 something thousand clients around the world, all small to medium-sized business owners. And every time they add a job, it's like, it's not hard. If we just make them more successful, not only do we save all the jobs that would have been lost, but we keep creating jobs. And that's why I love the work that we do. We do it with governments all around the world. We do it with banks all around the world, where they bring us in to help the business owners grow their thing. I was just chatting with my team in Jamaica, where Scotiabank literally has us work with business owners there to help those business owners grow, because they know as a bank, if you grow, so does our bank grow.
That's right.
It's not rocket science. So the more people we help grow, and that's why my philosophy is the more. In your little town, if we create, if let's say we take all those kids in school and they all leave school and want to build businesses, and they create virtual companies, and they create this massive thing, the amount of wealth that comes into your town all of a sudden that can be then done and put back into the schooling and put back into, it's the more people succeed, the more other people succeed. It's the way the economy's always worked, and the way the world does work from a business perspective and a financial perspective.
Yeah, it's not that hard. Look, I want to be respectful of your time. Your website has a wealth of information, a wealth of resources and courses and books.
Yeah, you can jump on any social media I'm on there, including Pinterest, and apparently my team have put me on TikTok. So,
good luck with that.
Apparently I got to start dancing. But yeah, jump on bradsugars.com or go to actioncoach.com if you want to grab those sorts of things, or any social media. You'll find me. I put videos up all day, every day, of new things to help people learn and grow. And actually, let's do this, Jim. This has been fun. So what I'm going to do for your people is I'll extend. We did a great deal on Black Friday last year, and I'll send a link to you that you can put out to your people for my 90-day training program. It's 30 minutes a day for 90 days with me, teaching business, life, and wealth. And if people can get through that, change their thinking in 90 days, it'll change their life for the rest of their life. So
great.
That'll be fun. I'll get the team to send that link for everybody.
That would be wonderful. So real quick on your website, outside of this 90-day training, where's a good place for them to start? I mean, when I'm looking at your books, you've got
any of the blog articles, any of the books is a good place to start. But even if they just want to jump on my YouTube channel and start watching videos on YouTube, there's a ton of content there. But we put it up on everything. So love to have them all come and learn and keep growing.
Brad, I appreciate who you are, what you're doing for people, this show, the message. It is so relevant and important right now. So thank you for taking the time out of your day to be here.
Buddy, thanks for doing what you do. And for anyone who this is your first time with Jim, subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Don't wait. Do it now. This is good stuff.
That's right. Thanks. Thank you for listening to today's show. It is my pleasure and honor to interview all of the guests that have been on the Answer is Yes podcast. If you have enjoyed the show, please go on iTunes and subscribe, give a rating, or simply tell a friend about the show. We also believe in the message of our guests and the positive influence of their stories. As my own mentor and coach, David Meltzer, has taught me, spend some time every day thinking and writing about the things in your own life that you have more than enough of. You will find out how blessed we really are. Please visit my website, livelifedriven.com, for the latest updates about me and what I'm doing. Plus, I post a monthly blog about the many topics on this show. This podcast can also be found there. As I learned early on in life, what you believe is what you will achieve. Thanks, Mark Victor Hansen, and thank you, and have a great week.